What's up everyone? Andrew with Dirt Rider here, and we've got a 2018 KTM 450 EXC-F 6 Days edition project bike that was built by Jay Clark. Jay put a lot of work in this thing, and he knows a lot more about it than I do, so I'm going to ask him to come in here and tell us all about it.
So, dual sport bike, and as you know, I've been kind of getting more into this. We did the 366 a while back, and that was pretty fun, making a big bore 350. This one's a lot easier because we don't need to add as much power. So by getting rid of some of the silly, what do we call it? Choking down stuff, we'll call it. So we got rid of some of that stuff. Takamoto makes a really good kit for that, got rid of that. Jamie at Twisted has a Vortex ECU, and that opens it up. We also just rebuilt it with a standard Vertex piston. Wanted to keep it really just simple and reliable. We don't want to be running race gas or anything like that. So just some good 91 pump gas. This thing will be great. So really fun. But so as far as that, we got our FMF pipe, 2-stroke air filter cage. We also took out the air boot. The stock one is corked up. So we got our air boot out. They got the Euro air boot in there. And this thing's just incredible. We actually have even street legal tires on here. The Dunlop EN91 tires, which are set up for, street, they're using ISDE, so they're legal and all good for that. So we got that set up. Really cool headlight setup, and all of our electronics. SAR Off-Road makes these really cool controls here, and these aren't just, they all are functional, so you can actually have more room to get your clutch positioned correctly here with your multi-switch, and then your stop and start switch is thinner as well, so the brake can be in a better spot and you have less stuff on the bars. And then your key, when you leave your key on, your battery doesn't go dead. So really cool features that way. Takamoto also makes these really cool blinkers that wrap around the forks, and they actually even have a running light feature, which is really nice. So they have some really cool products for off-road bikes and EXCs and dual sports especially. And as you can see, it looks amazing. UFO plastic, DecalWorks graphics, moto seat. So the bike looks amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of this thing. Factory connection setup. The suspension for me, you're a tiny bit thinner than me, but we backed off the spring as far as we could. So I think you're going to enjoy it. So hopefully you can get out there and hit the trail, the road, and the track some and see what you think.
So we just finished up riding Jay Clark's 2018 KTM 450 EXC-F 6 Days edition bike, and what a phenomenal job he did. This bike was a ton of fun to ride today. We took it on the trails, we took it on the vet track, and kind of tested everywhere here. As far as the performance, the engine is definitely more free-feeling than a standard 450 EXC-F, and it just revs quicker, feels more like a motocross or cross-country model, more like a SXF or XCF bike. So the engine was definitely better. Definitely like that, and there's not a whole lot of engine mods to it, so with the ECU and the mild engine work he did, this is something that's not insanely expensive that anybody could really do for not a whole lot of money. As far as the suspension, it definitely was awesome on the trails. I especially noticed for the shock, there's a lot of rain ruts out here just because we're kind of in summertime. We've already had all the rain this past winter. And really just hitting those rain ruts and those type of just sudden impacts, the shock really absorbed it well. I was really appreciative of that. I was kind of anticipating a bit of a jarring feeling like maybe a stock bike would, and that was just not the case. So pleased with the shock. The fork performed really well too. I was impressed, especially in that on the vet track, there's some landings that aren't super steep, so you got to kind of grease them perfectly. And even if you kind of had a bit of a slap down or landed a little bit long, the fork did bottom for my weight. So I was very happy with that. A very balanced feel and just an overall solid package. So factory connection definitely nailed it on the suspension set for this bike. As far as the tidbits and the extras and the handling, the bike, KTM's just, they're super light. They handle really well, which is really awesome in dual sport because you're, at least out here, we're riding some technical stuff. So very easy to maneuver the bike, which is kind of aided by the freer feeling engine and with that. And yeah, we have the mirror here. We're going to use that on the road here later today at night as well. And we're also going to test the Baja Designs light here. And we also have a moto-minded plate. And before we show you that, we also want to thank Cahuilla Creek MX for having us out today to their awesome facility here. And also thanks again to Jay for letting us test his awesome bike. And we'll see you next time.